Are you listening? This ain't no quiet thing. We're screaming out our lungs. Hey, are you listening? Hey, are you there? Hey, are you listening? Or do you just not care?
Well, hello, it's Hey, Are You Listening? This is a podcast exploring the past, present, and future of Christian music. My name is Joel, and I'm here with my good friend Brandon. And we connected over mutual love of some particular artists, but have pretty different tastes when it comes to things. And so we get to experience some new stuff from each other while inviting some friends along for the ride with us. And we actually have a guest with us today. And this one is pretty special for me. Today, we are honored to have with us my big sister, Lisa. Lisa, we're excited to have you with us today.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're so excited that you're here. This will be fun. Just sneak peek. So today we're going to be talking about another Christmas album, Home for Christmas by Amy Grant. And I was trying to think through who would be a good person to have on to talk about Amy Grant Christmas music. And you're the first person that popped in my head. So I'm excited to kind of dig into this today. And it's Christmas season. How have you guys started or been celebrating Christmas? Like, what are you doing to enjoy the season so far?
I think.
Oh, well, go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead.
Okay. Well, I work at a worship ministry at a church, and so I'm actually in charge of decorating the church for Christmas. So we had that last Sunday. Um, it's a very hands-on. I have many teams who are doing different things.
Yeah,
Project. We got it done in 4 hours, which is phenomenal.
that's amazing.
So I've had that, and somehow in the midst of that, I actually did get my house done as well. So
That's
um,
awesome.
that's about all I've had time to
Mhm.
do.
And I feel like decorating, if you're not careful, it can become something where you're like Christmas Eve still putting up stuff, like just lights and that kind of stuff.
Totally.
I know for us, me and my wife Jordan, we really enjoy. There's a book we bought years ago, and it's like a yearly journal. So you go through like December 1st through the 25th, and it's just every day it'll ask like, if you could invite someone to for Christmas this year, who would it be?
Hmm.
Or like, what are 3 things that you're thankful for this year? And so it's pretty cool that you get to slow down and take that little bit of time to kind of like enjoy like Christmas for that day.
Yeah.
And also just going back and seeing how there's things that like we were praying for, and then you see,
Mm.
oh, that was answered. Or you just see how some answers change and all. So I feel like it's just it's just a little way to really enjoy and take that little bit of time to enjoy Christmas each day.
That's awesome. Well, I'll admit
Mhm.
we were traveling for Thanksgiving, and so we haven't really, aside from starting to listen to Christmas music, really done much yet. And so I'm excited to kind of get the ball rolling and decorate and do all the things because I love Christmas, and so I love that we get to talk about what we're talking about today. But before we get into that, let's talk for a second about what's in the news.
What's in the news? What's in the news?
So I don't know if you guys have heard this. In the news, there is a pretty controversial topic happening in the world of Christian music. There's an artist that is at the top of the charts in the CCM world by the name of Solomon Ray. But Solomon Ray is an AI artist. And so this is music that's not, I don't know all the details of it, but this is music that's not being made by a real person, at least to some degree. That is AI produced, and so we knew this was coming, right? It's definitely hitting in the general market, but for it to begin to show up in the Christian market, is kind of an interesting thing. So how does that news hit you guys? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like I'm in an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where we're exploring is data a real entity or not?
Right.
I have an issue with a Christian artist being AI because AI cannot be saved.
Right.
Hmm.
Um, so where is the heart
Hmm.
in that music coming from? Um, yeah, it's yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah.
It's it just can't doesn't really seem real to me.
It's definitely a complex topic.
Hmm.
And I feel like there's part of it as we begin to engage in some of these new technologies where um, I have to like consider the fact of I'm a lot older than I used to be, and so everything hits me a little
Hmm.
different than it would if I was younger. And then like how do we when the internet appeared, people were frightened and afraid of it
Hmm.
in a lot of ways, and so but it does seem just interesting to take what's happening and being able to like experience it at some level in the general marketplace, but then apply that to songs that explore faith and what happens in our human nature and our
Hmm.
hearts, but from not a real person, not a real heart that's
Hmm.
been transformed. And so and to be honest, like Brandon, you and I have both like messed around with this AI music thing.
Hmm.
And so, in fact, our theme song for our podcast is an AI generated theme song.
Hmm.
And so we're not making any money off of it or anything like that, which is a whole other like part of all of this whole
Yeah.
thing is, are we just generating this art and to make money or to gain whatever. And so it really brings to mind some of these ethical questions. And I want to be careful, like to not rush to opinions.
Hmm.
And so I don't know if I'm ready, but I feel like a lot of caution in my heart over some of this stuff. And so I don't know. What do you think?
So we went to a conference, I think it was 2 years ago, and a couple of the breakout sessions were about AI, and it was really cool because there was one place that they talked about how AI is your friend. Like it can't be the star of the show, it can't replace people. Um, so, like for us, we use this AI tool each week with each sermon at our church. We feed the sermon through, and in 5 minutes, it gives us a full transcript. It gives us all the verses that are used. It gives us 20 clips we can use on social media and all that. So, it's like, it's so helpful on that end because it takes what would take, 12 hours maybe to do and does it in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at that same conference, there was a place that was selling like AI cards. So they were like, yeah, whenever you get a new visitor, you could have us automatically just send a card. And I remember the time like one of our pastors, Will, being like, well, how would you feel if you did something and you received a card, but you found out that your pastor didn't take the time to write that? It was
Mm,
more of just they got our computer to say, here's a generic thank you for cleaning this off.
right.
And I think that there's a place for it because I mean, there's a lot of times where now if I'm trying to bounce ideas off of something, I'll say, "Hey, read the script and tell me like ideas where I could change this or something, or give me like maybe ideas for like this topic." But I think that there's a difference in that versus when it's doing all of the work. So I think that it's like in music in general, there's questions. And then you get deeper when you're looking at you're in like the world of Christian music, you're producing it. But then also like where's that money going to?
Hmm.
And I think that there's so many artists out there that like for someone like us, we this podcast we're not making like money off of it. So we really can't go out and pay an artist, the money they deserve to write a theme song.
Yeah.
But if we're like a record label, then no, we have the money to go out and pay an artist to produce music for us. So I don't know. I feel like there's a place for AI, but I think that, like, kind of to echo what y'all have said, there's this caution when all of a sudden it's like writing like worship songs for us. And I mean, as someone who works at a church and uses AI, like, I'll be the first to say ChatGPT is very confused by the idea of Jesus and God sometimes, because the stuff that like it generates is like, no, that doesn't really match. And so it's like trying to explain to a computer, like,
Yeah.
trying to share the gospel to a computer, which I feel like 100 years ago was never something the church like probably would have been burned if someone was like, why is he talking to this device?
Brandon, I hate to tell you, but that computer can't be saved. You're wasting your time.
I feel like 10, 20 years from now, that's going to be like these sermons out there where it's like,
These will be the debates we're having then, is have the computers reach consciousness.
it'll be like, whenever you see now where like a celebrity gets saved, it'll be that, but with AI, where you'll see like on Facebook where it's like ChatGPT comes out, like it's saved.
Oh, goodness.
Super complicated stuff. And so obviously, I think AI is becoming something that the average American is using on a pretty regular basis. I mean, if you do a Google search, basically you're using AI now.
Yeah.
And so this is the world that we live in. But I think with any technology, we have to be careful to know its limits. And so it'll be interesting to kind of figure out what those are as time goes on. So I'm sure that this is a conversation that we'll probably keep having, because this isn't the first time this is going to, or the last time this is going to happen. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to figure out how all that stuff shakes out. All right, so I have a game for you guys today, and it's one that I've been looking forward to playing since before we ever even launched this podcast. And we're going to play a game of CCM 20 questions. And so the way that this works is I have an album released by an artist in my mind, and you get to ask me yes or no questions, 20 of them, in order to find out who this artist is. And so I would encourage you can talk back and forth with each other as we go through this, but don't make a guess until you're pretty sure that you know who or what this album is, because once you make your guess, like, it's over. And so ask questions around it to get to that point. But any yes or no question that you can think of, you can ask, and I will give you the answer. I might use my computer in case you ask me some questions that I don't know the answer to along the way. So, all right. You guys ready? All right, let's do this. Ask away.
Do you want to take the first question, Lisa?
Oh, is this an individual artist? Or is they known as an individual, or is it a band?
All right, so I'll answer the first one because that's a yes or no.
Okay.
Is this an individual artist?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
No. That's
Okay.
a good question.
Was it released in the 90s?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Do you have one now?
Did they have a mainstream following?
Good question. Yes.
Was it released on Forefront Records? I feel like in the 90s, if if you could get the record label, you get to narrow it down to like
It's a great way to work through that. Yeah, I should have just had this page pulled up. Hang on just a second.
I'm really glad that like Lisa's here, because if she wasn't here, my questions would range from these very deep, like, did they play in an arena of 20,000, or it'd be, is there red on the cover? Like,
No, this was not released on Forefront.
okay.
Mm. All right. Can you think of one, Brandon? Because I'm kind of stumped right now.
Is there a female like in the band?
No.
Oh. I'm glad I asked that, because I was really leaning towards it being like a Sixpence like album. So to recap so far, is released in the 90s. They did have a following. We're not on Forefront. No girls in the band.
And it's a band
Hmm.
or not an individual.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Were they known for any activity that they did outside of music?
Yes.
Do they surf?
Okay,
are they
he
known
said
for
specifically what
surfing?
I was
Like,
They are not known
Okay.
for surfing.
Okay. I was going down the wrong rabbit hole.
it's like at any point in their lives have they touched water?
Let me call them up really quick and ask.
Yeah. Are they still making? Are they actively making music now?
I will say that they're not as active as they used to be, but I don't
Okay.
know that they're like broken up,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Is there an animal on the album cover? If you need me more specific, I can ask you the.
No.
Okay.
No. I was just making sure.
Is the name of the band one word?
No. That's 10 questions.
Okay. Have there been any scandals with this band?
No.
Okay.
Is it is the name of the band 3 words?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll just say, remember, once you hone in on the artist, then you've got to
Mhm.
hone in on the album.
Yeah. I'm trying
Mhm.
to I'm trying to think of artists from there, but also what they released then. Have we covered this band on our podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
Is I'm trying to think of what the album cover. Are we allowed to like look up like the album?
No.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
Is
I will say, if you want to, if it's helpful, I'll allow you to ask me who the artist is, and I can confirm or not confirm that.
Is the artist Jars of Clay?
Yes, that's 14.
Okay.
Okay, I was on the right track.
Did they talk about water a lot on this album?
Yes, that's 15.
I don't remember the name of this album though.
Is the name, let's see, let me think. That's the wrong question.
I know that when I hear the name of it, I'm going to be like, why did I not guess that? Um, is the album named after the band?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I feel pretty confident with this now. Do you have any more questions before we lock this in?
Okay.
Lisa?
I think we got it.
Is
Was
it
it released in 1995?
Yes, that's 16.
Okay, we got it.
is the album Jars of Clay by Jars of Clay?
You got it.
Oh.
16 questions. Good. I'm glad you guys got there. I was a little nervous you were going to get there in like 5 questions. So I'm glad it took a little longer.
That's the fear I have whenever I play a game. Is I immediately think, oh, they're gonna know it's this one.
It'll be more complicated as we pick like a harder one in the future. So that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed working through that.
I need to look up the one
That was
I
fun.
was thinking of. I think it might have been because I was thinking if I left the zoo.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking you were thinking of when you asked me about animals.
Okay, that was 1999. That's
it
what
did
I was
come out in the
thinking of.
90s. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about what we've been listening to lately. Brandon, what about you? What have you been listening to lately?
I've been going back through. I've mentioned them a few times, but this band, The Last Bison, they have a pretty diverse Christmas catalog because they have when they were originally just big like family band and this like folky acoustic. And then they have one where it's like, I always tell people it's like they plug the instruments in. So it's more of this like maybe poppy alternative type thing. Then last year they released this very like just it's like a guitar and I think maybe like a cello maybe I don't know of Winter Wonderland. So I enjoy listening to them because I feel like you get a little bit of everything with their Christmas releases.
Yeah, that's fun. Lisa, what about you?
Well, actually, okay, my favorite Christmas album of all time is not from a Christian artist,
Mm-hmm.
but Ella Fitzgerald's Ella Wishes You a Swinging Christmas.
Yeah,
It's fabulous.
that's fun.
Yeah. I listen to it frequently. And it's the one Christmas album that every single song from it is on my Christmas playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
I love that. That's a lot of fun. Mine's not Christmas, but the band, Brandon, have you listened to them some? The Rocky Valentines?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they put out a single, a 2-song single called Happy Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
which has nothing to do with Thanksgiving. But it's cool. I was listening to that on my trip home from Thanksgiving and surprisingly like very like upfront about their faith, which they haven't really done in any of their music yet. So it's but yeah, both those songs are really great. So I've enjoyed listening to those. But all right, well, let's transition into talking about this record, Home for Christmas. All right, so I'll give us a little bio that I pulled from online. So Home for Christmas is the 10th studio album by Christian music and pop music singer Amy Grant, released on October 6th, 1992. It is Grant's second holiday album, the first being 1983's A Christmas Album. So this is like 9 years after her first Christmas album. On November 17th, 1997, Home for Christmas was certified triple platinum by the Recording Industry Association of Americas for shipment of 3 million copies in the U.S. And so that's back in 97, 3 million. Home for Christmas is the 18th best-selling Christmas album in the U.S., which is pretty wild. And
Hmm.
so this is actually a
Hmm.
pretty big Christmas record out there. So before we start talking about track by track, we'll kind of give some of our opening thoughts and history with this one a little bit, and maybe even history with Amy Grant.
Hmm.
So Lisa, why don't you start us off there? Like, where, when did you start listening to Amy Grant, and where did some of these songs start to come in for you?
Okay, so Amy Grant's first album released in 77, and Mom gave me that album for Christmas that year. And that started my obsession with Amy Grant.
Yeah,
I related to her because um she didn't put on any pretense. She was human. She made mistakes. She was very open about that. I appreciated that in her. And her she's just always been who she is. Like, this is who I am. Love me or hate me. I'm putting myself out there.
yeah,
She never hid any of her issues that she's had throughout her life. Um, but I grew up with her, and her 92 her 92 82 album, I think it was, Age to Age,
yeah.
was transforming for me.
Mm,
That hit when I was in high school. Um, and just was transformative in my Christian walk.
yeah,
Um, Still remains my favorite Christian album ever,
mm,
just because of what it meant to me at a time in my life where I needed it.
yeah,
So feel like Amy and I kind of grew up together in a sense. Um, she's 6 years older than I am, but still. Um, her and specifically to this album, her first Christmas album was the first time a Christian artist had done a Christmas album.
mm,
So it was huge.
yeah,
Um, and this particular album, Home for Christmas, released right after her um, Baby Baby album,
mm,
when there was all the controversy. Is Amy going secular?
right,
Um, I think it was a grounding album. Like, hey, I'm still Amy,
yeah.
Hmm.
you know, haven't gone to the dark side. Um, yeah, it was, I think there was a lot of purpose behind this album and the timing of its release.
Hmm.
Um, I think it brought her back to the Christian fan base that was questioning
Yeah,
at that time.
yeah, yeah. That is
So,
interesting. I love what you said just about her music, and obviously, I grew up a few years later than you, so I wasn't even alive when her first album came out. Um, but, um, but I feel like over time, especially the older that I get, the more that I've resonated with her music. But I feel like her Christmas music, for me especially, was like the gateway to that.
mhm,
Because I think for a lot of my younger years, I would have never probably listened to Amy Grant or said I would listen to Amy Grant. Um, and I was stuck in my whole world of rock music, which when you think about the fact that Amy Grant was to um, the Christian music industry what Switchfoot was 15, 20 years later. I think you have to think some in those categories and realize just who she was at her time was a huge deal. Just like an artist like Switchfoot or POD or whoever it may be was later on. And we have a hard time sometimes getting out of our experience in our world to realize like what was happening earlier on, and that it could have only been an Amy Grant at that point in time that could have accomplished what she did. And so I think I've been able to understand that more the older that I get and connect with her music more the older that I get. And her Christmas music, like I said, has kind of been the gateway for that for me of just like she has a few Christmas songs that I just love, love, love. And two of them are on this album. And so those have been on Christmas playlists for a long time. And I feel like I've just grown to love them even more over time. And so I'm excited to kind of dig into this. I don't know that I've ever listened to this album. Maybe I have from start to finish. But I feel like in her day, Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith, who I think started out on tour with her as like a keyboardist or whatever, and then kind
Yeah.
of like rode her coattails a little bit and then became his own thing and put out his own Christmas albums that were a huge deal. But she was kind of the trailblazer and all that. And so it's kind of fun to be
Absolutely. I
able to
mean,
dig in this.
before Amy, you had the Jesus music phenomenon,
Yeah.
Larry Norman and all of that, which had a lot of controversy surrounding it. Amy brought CCM to the mainstream
Yeah.
of, where everybody, um, everybody was listening to Amy Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that Mom bought me an Amy Grant album for Christmas is huge.
Yeah.
You know, um, she trusted it.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I love that. All right, Brandon, for you, a little different story maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward to follow all of that because, to be honest, I grew up thinking that Amy Grant was just Natalie Grant's aunt or something that also sang. I think for me though that I think I got really big into like Christian music in probably 2006, 2007. So I think by that point, that was kind of out of maybe like the heyday of Amy Grant, because I think at that point it's like you would see her appear maybe like at the Dove Awards, or if there was something like special like a tribute album. But like I don't really remember hearing her a lot on the radio, or I mean like at Winter Jam, like you
Right.
didn't have her. So for me going into this, like it's exciting because I couldn't tell you like an Amy Grant song, but there's people out there like yourself that are like, not only was she, important to me, but just the industry as a whole. Like she, and I think that, you guys talk about like a Switchfoot, or you look at like a DC Talk, and it's hard to kind of like explain to people that, hey, without this band, the whole landscape looks different. And that's the vibe I've always gotten from Amy Grant, is that if you remove her from the history of Christian music, like it looks different.
Yeah.
And so to me,
definitely.
yeah. So for me, it's always exciting to not only dive into a band that I've never listened to, but to dive into a band and just get a little bit of a feel for like, okay, like this band, they said that was very revolutionary. So it's like, what about it's different? And I think even like this Christmas album, like it is kind of different because some of the stuff, it might sound like classic or like dated to me, but it's also remembering that like, well, back in the day, maybe it was crazy that someone is a Christian artist and singing about like Santa Claus, or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am excited to listen and to tell people I finally have listened to Amy Grant.
I think I'll say too to that that I don't know that a Christmas album is necessarily the best like introduction to an artist,
Yeah.
because you don't get a sense of like her music through this, because it for whatever it is, like it is a pretty straightforward classic Christmas album, and it's much more influenced by Christmas than it is
Yeah.
influenced by Amy Grant. And so
Yeah.
you're not getting a sense of her style or much like through this. And so even as we talk about Amy Grant,
To age for that.
yeah, go listen to some of her like really really famous pop records, and you'll get a better sense of like who she was as an artist than you will from this. But so another thing that's just come up in some of our conversation that I did just kind of want to talk about, and I'm sure this will come up as we talk through the album too, is Brandon, we've talked about before how you kind of enjoy a little bit more of the like out there different kind of takes on Christmas music than you do traditional Christmas music. How do you think that makes you feel like going into like listening to this album?
I think it kind of makes me like afraid because so like we're reviewing another album during Christmas, and it's an album that I gravitated towards because it was very different
Yeah.
from what I grew up as. So I think that for me, there's some songs that I've been able to go back and appreciate, and then there's some songs that like you're put into such a box with Christmas music, because I feel like the stuff that I love, most people are not going to enjoy, because there's people that they sit down like my mom, like she enjoys like Relient K, she enjoys Toby Mac's Christmas, but like Little Drummer Boy, she just wants the classic. She does not want you to add in a drum machine or like scream in it. She just wants that. So I think that for me, even if I don't like enjoy an album, I can appreciate it that, okay, yeah, they're not making an album for me, because if they made an album, number one, I'm cheap. So I'm probably not even going to pay like $15 for it. So it's like, you're better off just making an album for people who are going to pay.
For the 3 million people that bought this album before 1997.
Yeah. So I highly doubt that whatever I say on here that Amy's going to need to address it.
All right. Well, with that, let's kind of get into our track by track discussion on this. So Home for Christmas starts off with Amy's version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. What did you guys think about this one?
I can go first. I think that it sets the tone. It gave me this idea that I'm gonna get a lot of kind of the same old, but it's gonna be high quality. And I think that's what you found on the album, is that all of the covers, like, there's really nothing going on that's like game changing, but there's also not like, at no point is it like, oh, the vocals are off, or I don't feel like the backing is bad. So I feel like it did a good job of kind of just setting that tone of you're gonna get more of what you're hearing now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, number one, this is my favorite secular Christmas song. So I love that she started off with this song. But it lays well with her voice, and the orchestration in the arrangement is not too over the top to, where you have this orchestra with Amy's down home voice.
Right.
It lays well, and I think, I agree. This was I think, a perfect start to the album. Very traditional, but nice.
Yeah, I always enjoy when an album starts off like not at a high point, but we'll start kind of in a different, more chill way. And I'm with you. I really like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and I thought this was a really fun take on it, because I love that it's basically just strings with some harp mixed in. And it's not super dramatic. It's a little melancholy. Yeah, I liked this one a lot more than I thought I was gonna like this one
Mm-hmm.
when it hit, just because it didn't overdo it. But it really like sat in a place that I felt like you said, Lisa, was good for her vocally,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of let itself be where it worked really well. So I thought that was good.
Next, we move into "It's the Most Wonderful Time." Lisa, how do you feel about this album or this song?
I like this one too. Again, there's no surprises here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very traditional arrangement. Um, in fact, if you placed it next to Andy Williams' version of the
Mm-hmm.
song, this cover, there's not a whole lot of difference. She sings it well. Um, this is also kind of an introduction. It's just taking it up at a little notch because there's more energy in this song. Um, she's getting us ready for what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I thought this was good. I don't actually know, like, the version of this that I know really well is the Andy Williams version, because we grew up listening to this in our
right.
house. And I don't even know if that's the original version of the song or not.
I
But
don't know. It's just the one that we
yeah,
grew up with.
but in my head that's like the standard, and so it didn't quite hit the level of that for me.
Well,
Um,
no.
but there's probably a lot of nostalgia mixed up in that too, and so it's hard to know.
Hmm.
But yeah, I like the strings are back. There's a little more orchestra, like a broader orchestra behind what's happening with this one. And so it picks up the pace a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. Did you know this song, Brandon?
Um, yeah, I've heard it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I feel like her voice, it shined a little bit more than "Have Yourself a Merry Christmas."
Mm.
So I think this one, what stood out to me was kind of getting a glimpse at like, oh, I feel like she's a really good like singer. Like
Hmm.
her voice is very like strong and all. So that's what kind of stood out to me with the track.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Track 3, Joy to the World, for unto us a child is born. This is like this is the uh, this is the whole like church pageants were loving this because they took this version. If they had an orchestra and were singing this, their choir was singing. Like
Hmm.
I feel like this was sung in churches, probably for decades after this came out.
Well, okay. So Amy is trying to sing this one with the boy choir.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, it doesn't work for me.
Mm.
Hmm.
Amy Grant sings the Messiah. No. Uh, love Amy, of course, but this is not her wheelhouse.
Hmm.
Um, and to be fair, they did try to mask her voice a bit by bringing the boy choir out
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I noticed
But
that too.
then I'm like, well, why even put it on the album? Because Amy's not shining.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't get this one at all.
Yeah, I thought her vocals were a little buried, and obviously there's the really long "Joy to the World" instrumental before "For Unto Us a Child Is Born" actually comes in.
Hmm.
So that was an interesting mix. You've got the strings in the orchestra, and then you have the breakout into the Messiah. But
Hmm.
You almost feel like because they hired a London orchestra to do the orchestra music on this album, that they wanted to showcase that
right,
Hmm.
and not Amy.
yeah.
Um,
Well, and
and
there's a decent amount of that on this album in a couple of
yeah,
places for sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
But I think that was kind of the way back then is, yeah, I don't know.
In the 90s, lush orchestrations were the thing for Christmas music. It was just so for the time, maybe, but just doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think for me, I really love whenever there's like mashups. And I
Mhm.
think it just goes back to like I enjoy when someone does something a little bit different. So for me, I think I just enjoyed the fact there was this I felt like it was, and there's kind of a pattern on this, is that I think that original and her doing her own thing, I think that I found myself enjoying those tracks more.
Yeah.
So I think that for me, like, I guess that maybe like hit a little bit of like the problems with like, oh, does this work or not? And I just got excited that, oh, I've never heard these two songs like mashed up
Mashed up
together.
together. Yeah.
So I think that's what
Hmm.
kind of like was a highlight for me, is just seeing this. Okay, here's something finally that's a little bit like we're taking a chance
Yeah.
like on there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I didn't dislike it. But it wasn't a highlight for me on it.
We move now on to Breath of Heaven. Is that the next one?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the best.
All right,
Joel-
Lisa, tell
This
us.
is
Lisa,
the
yeah.
best. This is the best track on the album for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Amy Grant helped to write the song, so it's her song, and she does it well. I don't think it, I mean, it's perfect for her, and it's just a really intimate portrait of Mary. I absolutely love this track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think of a negative thing to say about this one. I do it's a 5 for me. I love the piano in the beginning and the synths. There's like you feel the tension of Mary
Mhm.
responding in the moment, and seeing her own inadequacy and um, needing the strength that only God can give her. The synthesizers are like so good. I don't know. I was listening
Mhm.
on headphones, and just they're not doing anything crazy, but these just really deep synthesizers that are serving as like the foundation
Mhm.
of the song are so good. And that with the slight piano just give a really great space for her vocals to
Mhm.
shine and to stand out. And so um man, the vocals are amazing, the melody's amazing. I love the vibe and the feel that the song gives off. And I love um the lyrics where she says, "Help me be strong, help
Yes,
me
yes,
be,
yes.
help me."
Help
Mhm.
me.
It's
It's just
it
so.
the lyrics there are incredible. Just the
Mhm.
dropping of a word on every repeat. Help me be strong, help me be, help me. It's such a good,
Mhm.
such good writing. Yeah,
Yes.
I just love this song.
Yeah, I always appreciate when I can be on the same page, because in my experience, usually what happens is I'll have two people be like, "This is life changing," and I'm like, "If there was a skip track," but no, like I was saying a while ago, I think that like if I could just have a whole album of just the originals, I think this is I think this is one that I might have heard but never knew it was her. But yeah, I love the tension. I hate whenever people will take like a story like that and it turns it into a song where it's like, oh, we're sad in the first verse, but then by the chorus everything's like fixed, like it's
Yeah.
almost like this wink of like everything's gonna be
Yeah.
good. But you just have that constant tension where it is this like, I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, this
Mm.
is sad. And I think, even at like Christmas or Easter, like I said, those stories get so condensed that there's no time to feel this despair. Like
Yeah.
we forget, like even when we read history, sometimes I think like World War II. It's like in school, you spend 5 days and you've covered everything. Whereas back in the day, it was no, people went months thinking, oh, when's there going to be a bomb that hits,
Yeah.
here or whatever.
Hmm.
So I really appreciate that this song, there is that like hope, but it gives the listener this like, oh, what is gonna happen? Like this is what I'm feeling and all. So I really really love this track.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a good one. Such a
It's
good one.
such an Amy track.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Amy song. And this is why I love Amy Grant,
Mm-hmm.
because there is this, oh, Lord, I am so imperfect
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, but I'm yours and do what you will. I mean, that's Amy Grant.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's all of her music. I mean, that's the heart of her music. And so it's just this is an Amy song.
Mm-hmm.
It's why I love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely my favorite track from this record as well. So I love it. All right. Track 5, "O Come All Ye Faithful." What do you guys think about this one? Little change up here.
Mm-hmm.
I love this one. I
Mm.
love it. Amy with a guitar. And this is Phil Keaggy guitar. So it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just incredible. But yeah, again, this is Amy in her wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's it suits her. I love it. It's gorgeous and it's a creative arrangement. Um just love it.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a different take. I think it's such a different it's just a different feel
Mm-hmm.
from everything that we've experienced so far that it felt like a little jarring for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I like the guitar work. And I could tell I didn't know it was Phil Keaggy, but I could tell it's definitely a very good guitarist
Mm-hmm.
that's playing this right now. But I noted that like she does these like vocal pauses that aren't traditional, and I kind of just wanted to sing along to the song, but it was hard to sing to because of the rhythm changes, and so I don't know. It wasn't my favorite one on the album, but yeah, I think it's good.
I think for me, I enjoyed the like the change of pace with it going a little more like a acoustic, if
Hmm.
you will. But I think it just goes back to I found myself feeling like, okay, this what about this version, I guess, like kind of like changes it. And I mean, I think the problem too is that this is a song that I've heard. I think it's like a band in Kansas has done one, like Toby Mac. So I think that that's the problem sometimes is when you are covering one, is that you have these other people that have covered it. So it's like you're trying to compete now with, like if it's an
Mhm.
original, you're no one's ever heard this one.
Yeah.
So you have that. But when you're trying to compete, like that can be good and bad because there's been songs that an artist comes along and it wasn't until that person sang it that I started paying attention and thinking, oh, I really love what this song is saying. Or I never thought this was a Christian song, but then a Christian artist sings it and it takes a whole new meaning or
Yeah.
whatever. So I think for me, that's it. It's almost just a problem of when you're just thinking of every version you've heard of this song,
Right.
like it sometimes can suffer. I think it's the other way. I think if someone tried to cover like Breath of Heaven, you're gonna have a really hard time like topping or like equaling
Yeah.
what she does on there. So
Yeah. No, I get that for sure. Yeah, I think it's good. I think my thing with it is it doesn't feel like the rest of the album. And so I struggle a little bit
Mhm.
to have it fit in. It just feels like maybe it doesn't fit. Um so
I get that. I think for me, because this is so much Amy's normal wheelhouse,
mm-hmm.
it
yeah.
worked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, especially like if you listen to what she's putting out now,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure.
um,
It's pretty much
it's very
mostly
much
acoustic guitar
it's
Mm-hmm.
driven
very
and
it's very Amy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so but I could listen to this to Phil Keaggy play this
Mm-hmm.
all day long. It's beautiful. So
Yeah.
Next, we move to Grown Up Christmas List. What are your thoughts on this song, Lisa?
Okay, this is another favorite.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cover too. Um, but Amy actually wrote some original lyrics for this
Mm-hmm.
piece. And I saw a interview she did a couple of years ago where she said, she had asked the original songwriter, what's his name, David Foster,
Mm-hmm.
if she could, and he liked what she did so much that he offered to give her songwriting credit, which she turned
Mm.
down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she added a verse. Let's see, I wrote down what she. Oh, as children, we believed the grandest sight to see was something lovely wrapped beneath the tree. But heaven only knows that packages and bows can never heal a hurting human soul.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, it was the what she added to it.
Mm-hmm.
This song's been covered by so many, I mean, big artists.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Amy's, this one is the first time I'd ever heard the song. Um, so it remains my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just because of that.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if I've ever heard another version of it. Thinking about it, and I think I always thought this was an original
Mm-hmm.
until I was listening through for this and noticed that her name wasn't in the credits, and so
this has been covered by Aretha Franklin,
mm,
Barbara Streisand, Pentatonics. There's tons of covers of this song.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there are now. Was hers like the one that kind of broke
Hers
it
was
out?
hers was the first cover
Okay,
that had
gotcha.
ever been done of it.
Yeah,
It was originally done, I think, for a TV show in Canada,
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
where the songwriter did a duet with Natalie Cole.
Okay,
Um, but Amy's was the first cover
gotcha.
of many, many, many.
Yeah, I love this song too. And I think that there was a time in my life when I probably thought this song was cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, earlier in my life. But I think that the older that I get, and the crazier that our world gets, the more that the lyrics just resonate with the way that I feel.
Hmm.
That no, I that's what I do want is
Mm-hmm.
just for our world to be different. And so I just feel like it works so well. And I know musically, like in the beginning, you've got the 80s, 90s, like electric piano kind of feel that you don't really see on other places on this record. And so maybe musically it stands out a little bit too, but I love that about it too. Like
Mm-hmm.
it takes it back in time a little bit in a way that feels warm for me. I also just think
Hmm.
this song works so well for her vocals
Yes.
that it really lets her singing shine, and her voice is just perfect for it. Like when she goes up on some of those parts towards the end with kind of the big end of it, like just the tone of her voice fits this song so well.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, so I was surprised too because I thought it was an original too.
Hmm.
But I think that's also like it goes back to when you're covering something that like not a lot of people like at that time had
Yeah.
done. You kind of get to make it your own. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's right on that line of being like you could be like this is way too cheesy. And I think even a couple years ago, like I would have been like, "Oh, okay. We're like this is too silly." But I remember when the line came on where it's like everyone would have a friend.
Hmm.
And it's just like the more I look at like the world, like it blows my mind. Just people that walk in the doors of our church, or the senior center I work at, like the people that don't have a friend. And it's hard for me to sometimes comprehend that because I think to myself that like man, if I needed a place to stay, I'm like, there's 20 people I could call right now, and there's no questions asked. They would find a spot. And
Yeah.
I mean, and there's another couple of dozen that might say, what's your situation, or let me check, or whatever, to see if we have space. So like, even just hearing that line, I'm like, yeah, I feel like it can come across as cheesy, but then you start thinking to yourself like, well, yeah, but if you haven't had a friend, you would think. So I think it's right on that line, but I think that the verses do a good job of kind of adding that depth that keeps it from sounding like this cheesy or just like I want, because I mean, I don't know, like it's people go around. I remember thinking like pray for peace or whatever. It was a very like silly thing. You get older and you're like, well, yeah, we shouldn't be rooting for like war. Like just that doesn't mean that like need to be against peace or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's on that line, but it does a really good job of not going into like cheesy eye rolling
Yeah.
category.
Well, and I feel like she sings it with, like her voice has an innocent quality to it. That like when she sings it, there's so much earnestness to it that
Yeah.
there's no tongue in cheek to it at all. Like it just feels really, really true for her, and I think that helps a lot. So
Well, I mean, this is the message of Christmas. I mean, for God's kingdom to come, honestly.
yeah,
And I think, yeah, this is like, I think she's been building up to this, you know, it's almost a prayer.
yeah, it is.
So,
And just as Christians, like you said, a realization that we'll never have this, this side of eternity of heaven. And so it really is like a yearning and a longing for like what's to come. And I do love that. And I don't think that there's anything cheesy about longing and wanting that. So track 7 is Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. What were y'all's thoughts on this one?
that's bringing us back down to earth. But I love this one. This one's fun. I think she does a good job on it. And yeah, it's a good basic arrangement of it. Again, you're not going to find any surprises here, but it's a good track. I like it.
Yeah, I think it like as much as you like love the more serious songs, like you also can't have every track be Breath of Heaven and then
Right.
jumping to like Grown Up Christmas List. So my thought on this, and without context, it sounds like it's like attacking the song. But my note was that I appreciated that it was short. So without explanation, it sounds. But what I mean by that is that I think I've heard versions of this that, like, to me, I've heard there's a band. It's like James Reunion that I think they have what's my favorite version of this song. I think they released it on one of the Happy Christmas albums, but I think a lot of times bands kind of like they just drag it out, and I appreciated that. Like I think it clocked in like right over 2 minutes, so it felt like it wasn't we have to keep this going just to be going. So it felt like it was a fun break. But I appreciate that it wasn't like, let's turn this into 4 minutes and add another verse or add some solos or something.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that it was this little break, and it almost felt more like an interlude or something than an actual like track. Which like I've come to realize that I really appreciate albums that have those little like 40-second like skits or like intros or like outros or whatever, and I've noticed I miss that a lot about today's music. So
Right.
I appreciate it whenever there's like a little shorter track that kind of like helps get out of the track we were just in.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's something this album does pretty well is the songs on here don't overstay their welcome. Just in general, that they're a couple of tracks that clock in right around 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's all that they need. And I think that there's a lot of wisdom in like you said, not overplaying something.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'll just be honest. This is probably my least favorite song on the album.
Mhm.
Again, I feel like it just maybe doesn't fit. It's not one of my favorite Christmas songs to begin with, so I think that probably doesn't help it either. But I like the kind of doo-wop stuff that's going on, and there's a key change that happens. But yeah, it's not my favorite. So I don't know.
We'll move into Winter Wonderland next. Lisa, what were your thoughts?
I think this is a fairly good arrangement. I
Mhm.
like that uh, it's got a little bit of jazz
Yeah.
added to it from the traditional, but not enough to change the feel of the song. Um, yeah, I like this one.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with that. I like the feel of this. Again, we're kind of back to the jazzy orchestral kind of sound, and I think it just feels better for this album than the kind of trying to rock a little bit. And so this one's nothing flashy to it, but I think it works. I think it works really well and fits on the album. Brandon, what would you think?
I think for me, it just goes back to it doesn't really stray from the original. So I felt
Yeah.
like it's, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just kind of find myself being like, okay, it's here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I think I find myself with just a lot of the covers just being like it's good. Like there's nothing bad or like I'm not upset with it. It's just maybe like not um giving that chance to shine, because I think as someone who had never listened to Amy Grant, that was one of my takeaways, was that, oh, when she's given the opportunity, I feel like I'm really enjoying kind of seeing her like
Yeah.
kind of like heart or her talent shine through.
mhm.
But I mean, it just goes back to like for me, I remember Reliant K was a big band that they did their own thing. And before that, I knew that stuff was out there, but I feel like it wasn't as popular as it is now to do your own thing. Like now people will take Silent Night and turn it into like a rap song or something. Whereas I feel like if you did that in the 90s, you were not going to
Oh no.
get any
Oh
traction.
no.
Like, so I think that, sometimes um even tracks like this, it's like when I might look at and think, oh, that's just what they were singing in the 90s. It's also
Mhm.
trying to realize like, well, some of the stuff that I think is silly, like I said earlier, I could see it being a big deal the first time a Christian artist saying like, "Here comes Santa Claus," and it being like, "Oh, this person is like, whoa, hold on a second, like that they can't sing that, or
Yeah.
something." So yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. All right, track 9, I'll Be Home for Christmas. I feel like this one sits still in kind of the jazzy world,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
but it feels right. It's a little more melancholy. You got the strings and the piano, and so I liked the vibe of this one. I did feel like this was an interesting choice just for a song for her to sing
Mm-hmm.
on this, um, because I feel like this is usually traditionally, isn't this like the whole like I've gone off to war kind of thing, but I'll be home for Christmas,
Yeah,
and so it just kind of felt like
right.
weird for an Amy Grant song,
Well, I
but
mean,
I liked it.
it's the name of the album, so
Yeah, I guess you have to do that.
um this is not my favorite. This is probably out of all of the traditional Christmas song covers, this is probably my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I don't think it suited her as well as the others did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, it's okay. I think the orchestration gets a little too lush at times,
Gotcha.
but that's the 90s too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that at this point it's just every time I hear an original, I think, hey, can we go back or a cover? I'm like, can we go back to the other stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it made me think of something like if you were in like a hotel, like you know when you're sometimes in a hotel and there's someone over there like playing like piano or whatever, or maybe a restaurant. Because now I'm thinking about it, I don't know how many times I've been to a hotel and people are playing like music at Hampton Inns or whatever, but like it just made me kind of feel like okay, it's what you expect. It goes back to there's nothing that's making me like
Right.
angry on the album. It's just kind of like okay, yeah, there's nothing I love or hate about it. I guess so. Moving on to the next one, we have Night Before Christmas. But I guess before we jump into it, is this an original or is this like a cover?
This is a cover.
Okay.
Carly Simon wrote this song,
Okay.
and I'll just say right here,
Uh-huh.
Carly Simon's version is so much better than this one. So much better. I yeah, I remain uninspired by this cover.
hmm
I don't. Yeah, it's not my favorite. Uh, yeah, if you want to listen to a good version of this song, listen to Carly's.
hmm
Yeah, I think there's maybe a reason they kind of stuck it towards the end of the album. I, I don't, maybe this was just me, but as the song started, like all of the like instrumental parts before the vocals started, I was getting a real Eagles like "Take It to the Limit" vibe. Like it almost musically sounded exactly like that song, and I'm like, are we covering an Eagles song here? Like, what's going on? So I like the intro, but the rest of it just it doesn't really stand out to me. So I mean, it's a song that I'm not used to hearing that often, and so in that sense, it does kind of stand out. But I feel like it doesn't work as well as some of the other ones like that.
I think it fit for me. I think maybe it's just like to me separating the album into the ones that are like I guess maybe very well known, and then the ones that are either original / not as popular. I think it fits more in that one that it's kind of this little like fun thing that's going on the side.
Yeah.
So I think for me, seeing it like that, I found myself enjoying it, or at least I was enjoying it more than the two songs that it came before it.
Yeah, sure.
So
I get that.
I put in my notes, I like the verses with the da da da, but I forget what I mean by that now. So I know that at the time that it made like a da da da, da but now it's just da da da. So there's something about the
funny.
verse that I enjoy, that there's something with it da da da.
I love that. So track 11, Emmanuel, God with Us. So I think this is an original to this album.
Yes, yes. She co-wrote this song.
Yeah. What'd you think about this one, Lisa?
This is my least favorite song on the whole thing. I love the message. It's a great message. Other than that, I just don't like it. Yeah. I think she's trying too hard.
Yeah, it sounds like it would
Her
be.
vocal is not great on this, and I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It sounds like it would be a song that I would like, but I do think it's the weakest original on the album by a pretty good measure. And so I'm thankful that it's not another cover song. And so I know you got to just take a shot and and see. But yeah, it doesn't work as well for me
Mm-hmm.
as the others.
I wrote down that it felt like I was listening to like Pocahontas. Like that's what it reminded me of, is like that, like I could picture this being like, I don't know, like a Pocahontas Christmas or something, where
Yeah.
they're in the, I think it's like the tree or something, sings to Pocahontas or gives her wisdom. Um, so I enjoyed it. I think it goes back to anything that's original, like I'm gonna gravitate more towards.
Yeah.
So for me, like it was really different, but I think that I appreciate like a swing and a miss more than a, all right, here
Hmm.
we can put this one out and
Yeah.
we'll have just me and a piano or something. So I think I appreciated that about it.
Yeah. I understand that for sure. And so I agree
Yeah.
with you in that sense. I'm thankful that it's
Mhm.
here. Yeah. Even if it doesn't land as well.
So we moving into our final track now. Jesu's Joy of Man's Desires.
Yesu.
Jesu.
Yesu.
Yeah.
This is Bach, which is kind of out of place on this album, I think. Um, it was a very 90s thing to end a Christmas album with an instrumental. And so I get that, but I don't, and it was nice. It's a nice arrangement, but maybe not suited to the album itself. Um,
Yeah, I felt like it got a little. I like the simplicity of it in the start. Maybe it gets a little much for me towards the end.
mhm.
And so, but I do have to say, so my wife Emily walked down the aisle to this song,
Yes, she
Mhm.
did. I
A-
remember that.
and so it will always hold a special place in my heart. And so I can't say too many negative things about it. I mean, it wasn't her arrangement of the
Well,
song, but
again, I mean, I love the song.
right.
I just didn't think it really fit the album.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like with the rest of the album, it being like, okay, here's these covers, here's these originals. It was it was weird to add, like, to end it with a just a really long instrumental.
Yeah.
And it, I talk about how albums, I see them as concerts. This almost felt like I was watching a movie. Like this is something I'm seeing
Right.
at the
Yeah.
ending
The end
credits.
credits, yeah.
Hmm.
And it's like, I think it's kind of like with the covers. I didn't like hate it, but I also just found myself wondering, is this the best way to like wrap up? Like, am I happy with this? Or I don't know, like almost like if you would have shortened it and then have an intro to some song, or maybe add some lyrics or something to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're kind of all on the same page. It's just, I know this was a popular thing to do, but it doesn't really hit the way that
mhm.
we probably would have hoped or wanted it to. So, all right. So let's kind of talk then about our kind of ending final thoughts of the album, and then what we would give it as a ranking out of 5. And do you guys have any kind of closing thoughts?
I mean, I can go first. I felt like it was, I enjoyed it more than I like expected to. Because going into it, I'm thinking it's that mix of early 90s. It's Christmas. Like it's the perfect storm for an album I like wouldn't care for. But it's always a nice treat. I think sometimes maybe when expectations are low, that you walk away from it being happier versus being like something
Hmm.
you love and then you go back and you don't care for it.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, like it's listening to the whole thing, I probably have honestly a little bit of a difficult time listening to just a Christmas album from start to finish. Because
Hmm.
I feel like what we've done, and maybe this is not everybody, but I feel like what I've done throughout history and our family's done, Like we grew up listening to like mixtapes of Christmas songs, and now we listen
Yes.
to playlists of Christmas songs. We have a ton of variety, and we're just used to that. So listening
Hmm.
to one person's Christmas album from start to finish is a little more difficult. But I think for the most part, there's a cohesiveness to the record outside of a few parts that felt like outliers to me that make the album work
Mm-hmm.
pretty well together. And it has two of my favorite original-esque Christmas songs by Amy on it, and so for that alone,
Mm-hmm.
it has a warm place in my heart. Yeah, Lisa, what about you?
Oh yeah. I mean, there are. I mean, the three songs. There's several songs from this album that are on my Christmas playlist.
Mm-hmm.
But um, Breath of Heaven and the three songs in the middle that to me are the highlight of the album,
Yeah,
um, is those three are permanent favorites.
yeah,
And you know, I, I think timeless.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
yeah. I love that. So I ended up giving Home for Christmas a 3.5
Mm-hmm.
out of 5. What about you guys?
Would you give it, Lisa?
yeah, I would say I'm about there too. Yeah, the highs were really great,
Mm-hmm.
but the lows were a little
Yeah,
cringe. So yeah, I'd say the same 3.5.
I think it's the first time in history I'm giving it a 3.5 too. So I
whoa.
feel like
Oh, a consensus.
That's amazing.
yeah.
First time ever on Hey, Are You Listening? So that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Well, this has been fun to dig into this record. Real quick, let's talk about our lyric of the week.
It's time for the lyric of the. It's time.
I've already mentioned the lyric of the week on this one, but for me, it has to come from Breath of Heaven. The
Mhm.
line, "Help me be strong, help me be, help me." I love that. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
so simple, but it's so well done. So really stands out. So, well, Lisa, we are so thankful that you joined us to talk about this today. It's fun to have
I enjoyed it.
a perspective from you who was there in the moment. I was probably in 5th grade, maybe when this came out, but you were there. I'm sure listening to it right then, and so
Yeah, for reference, I'm 12 years older than Joel.
yeah,
So uh this was definitely. Now, actually, by the time this album came out, I was married, and uh, but I grew up with Amy. When
Mm-hmm.
I was growing up, CCM was Amy Grant and Rich Mullins and you too. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, uh, that was what we had. Michael W. Smith came in there too, but uh, I kind of was listening in from the ground,
yeah. I love that.
and I'm glad. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
feels weird to be as old as I am now, but I'm really glad that I was able to listen at the beginning when things were just getting started. It's a great time of so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today and talking through this. It's been a lot of fun to get to do that together and to have you on. So, and we're thankful for you,
Loved it.
for everybody for listening and taking some time out this Christmas season. We just hope and pray that you are having the best season with your family, celebrating and remembering all that Christmas is all about, and just the great gift that we have in Jesus. So we will look forward to seeing you again next week.